What if future Gohan trained inside the hyperbolic time chamber? How would this change Dragon Ball Z?
I am a Saiyan that was raised on planet Earth. I will not let you destroy my world!
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Dragon Ball Z Discussion, where we do weekly discussion about Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. Today's discussion is about what if future Gohan went to the hyperbolic time chamber and trained? How would this outcome resolve in his power level increase? Would this help him transform into a Super Saiyan 2, or would this not help him? So inside the discussion, I'm going to talk about what could have happened, and then what would have happened if he did achieve Super Saiyan 2, because I believe most likely he would achieve Super Saiyan 2, and I'll explain why I believe he would achieve Super Saiyan 2. And then inside this discussion, I'm going to discuss about both timelines, about what would happen inside the future timeline and what would happen inside the present timeline if Gohan did this action. So everybody, let's get to the discussion.
What if future Gohan trained inside the hyperbolic time chamber?
Alright, now first up, let's talk about Gohan's knowledge. Did Gohan have any idea about the hyperbolic time chamber? Because the only people who knew about the hyperbolic time chamber was Goku, Kami, and Mr. Popo. And I think even Korin knew about the hyperbolic time chamber, because when Goku came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, he came to Korin and said that I just came out of the chamber, I want you to check my power level to see if it's stronger than Cell or Cell stronger. So those four people are the only one who knows about the hyperbolic time chamber. So my guess here is that Gohan did knew about the hyperbolic time chamber, because Korin or even Mr. Popo could have told him about the hyperbolic time chamber. Now the discussion here is, what if he did end up going to the hyperbolic time chamber? What would have changed about Dragon Ball Z? So let's talk about his power increase. Gohan has a significant amount of power inside him which he needs to bring out, and we all know that Gohan is more than capable of turning into a Super Saiyan 2, because the present timeline Gohan proved that he could have done it. So this Gohan has the same power as the present timeline Gohan, but the only difference here is that this Gohan didn't have Goku with him compared to the present timeline Gohan. Now if Gohan went to the hyperbolic time chamber, I believe he would achieve Super Saiyan 2. Why? Because Gohan's will is exactly like Goku's will when it comes to the future timeline. He has the same heart of fighting, and the love for fighting, and the love to protecting his loved ones. And because of that, he's living in a world of survival, where if he dies, his whole family, everything's over, and if he survives, he could help build his world into a better place. So having that thought in mind, he has a lot of hatred towards the android. So if he did went to the hyperbolic time chamber, he would have used that hatred towards getting stronger, and the more he trained inside the hyperbolic time chamber, that would have given him a significant amount of Zenkai boost to his power level, and therefore he would achieve Super Saiyan 2. Now the question here is if he did achieve Super Saiyan 2, would it be as strong as present timeline Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, Team Gohan? The answer is yes. Why? Because both of them trained inside the hyperbolic time chamber, and therefore they have the same exact power. But what I believe is future Gohan will be more smart compared to Teen Gohan, because Teen Gohan is just a teenage, he's just a child, and he doesn't have that much experience in battle compared to future Gohan, where he fought the androids and he tried his best to survive the world and to avoid the androids, and tried secretly training to get stronger. So I believe Gohan will be a more smarter fighter than Teen Gohan, but when it comes to strength wise, I think they both will be almost the same. Maybe future Gohan might be a little more stronger due to him being an adult and he has a higher Zenkai boost. He'll be a bit stronger than Teen Gohan because of those reasons. Now the question here is, what would have happened if he did achieve Super Saiyan 2? The obvious thing right here is, once when Gohan achieved Super Saiyan 2, he would have gone to look for androids 17 and 18, and then once he got there, I believe that he doesn't need to transfer to Super Saiyan 2. His Super Saiyan is strong enough to handle androids 17 and 18, and he will go and easily kill both of them because he trained for 1 year straight, only in 1 day, which is the hyperbolic time chamber. So now once when Gohan gets rid of all those two androids, his world is safe again. All the android destruction is gone, and there will be no more problem for our upcoming world for Gohan to survive in. His world is safe, but the only flaws here is that Trunks wouldn't transform into a Super Saiyan, because the only reason why Trunks went to a Super Saiyan was because the pain of loss helped him transform. But he would go Super Saiyan, but later on in the future, not right away compared to he did inside the future timeline. Now the question here is, would Bulma still send Trunks to the present timeline to give Goku the antidote? Because the only reason why she sent Trunks there was she said to Trunks that there is no hope for this universe, but maybe you could go and help change another universe, go back in time and help change it by giving Goku this antidote. I believe that Bulma would still give the antidote, but this time it will be to Gohan. Gohan will get the antidote because either he will mention to Bulma that now that I survived, could we go back and save my father, or either she'll have the idea to go and help Goku because now that her world is safe, she would like to go and help the other world. Because either way, I think it was meant for Goku to get the antidote for his heart virus. The only thing I'll change here is, I'm pretty sure Gohan would have gone to the future instead of Trunks, because Gohan would want to see his father one more time again, and he would like to hand deliver the antidote to his father. So let's talk about the present timeline of what would happen if Gohan did come there. Same thing as before, once when future Gohan gets there, he would go and end up killing Frieza, just like how future Trunks did, but this time when Frieza sees Gohan, he'd be like, wait a second, you're that brat, because Gohan would remind him that he was there with him on Namek. And then once when Gohan killed him, then the Z fighter will realize that that's first Goku, but then when they see his hair and stuff, they'll realize that's not really Goku, and later on they'll realize that's Gohan. And then that's how Gohan will introduce himself to the Z fighters. And then one thing I think that'll change is when Chi-Chi meets future Gohan, she would not be as strict as she is right now with the present timeline Gohan, because when she sees her future son, she'll get scared and worried knowing, well, seeing what he'd been through and that how dangerous the android is, and therefore she would allow Gohan to train often. He sees his father, I'm pretty sure he'll be very, you know, excited and very heartbroken that that's my dad standing right in front of me. After so long I get to see my dad again, and it'll be awkward for him to see his young version himself again. But when he sees Goku, he will reveal to Goku who he is. He'll be like, I'm your son. Goku will be so surprised and sad for his son. He would have gone back in time just like how future Trunks did, but knowing Gohan, he will definitely come back to the timeline. Why? Because he would want to kill the androids himself. He would not want to make his father go through that because he has too much love for his father and he has the power to do so. So if Gohan did come back, he could have easily wiped out both the androids, Android 17, Android 18. If Gohan came back, let's talk about how this will affect the timeline. If Gohan came back in the nick of time, I'm pretty sure Goku would probably got hit by the heart virus like he did inside the present timeline. And once he got hit by the heart virus, Vegeta would have came in to stop Dr. Gero and everyone. And once when Gohan got there, he would have came in and said that I'm going to enter the battlefield. And he would have killed Dr. Gero right there. Because he knows that this man's the one who created these killer androids, and he would have ended Dr. Gero's life. And if Dr. Gero's dead, there's no need to activate Android 17 or 18 or even 16. But knowing Gohan, he would still try to look for the lab so he could personally destroy the lab to make sure there's no possibility of them ever coming back to life again. And once when that happens, there's one problem we got, and that is Cell. Cell is still roaming around that present timeline, and Gohan will probably know about Cell because he killed the androids. He would eventually meet Cell, and he could have easily dealt with Cell. Because don't forget, Gohan had the power to transform into a Super Saiyan 2. But now the problem here is, how will this affect the timeline? A lot of problems starts right here. If Gohan did ended Cell, he would have been the savior of the present timeline. And then he'll say his final goodbye and go back to his present timeline, and over there he would probably live his life to rebuild his world and probably become the next guardian of the earth. Now, how does it affect this present timeline? It affects it a lot of ways, in the good ways and bad ways. The bad ways is that Piccolo would have not had the idea to go and fuse with Kami. The only reason why Piccolo did that was because he got beaten by Android 17 and 18. But if Gohan came, he could have easily dealt with those two and he could have killed them easily and not make Piccolo go to that stage where he has to go fuse with Kami. Now the one pro right here is if Piccolo didn't fuse with Kami, the Dragonballs will still be intact. Now another problem right here is that no one would need to go to the Hyperbolic time chamber to train to get themselves stronger. Team Gohan would not be able to transform into a Super Saiyan 2 or even into a Super Saiyan because Goku would not give him the idea to let's go son to the chamber and train so we could beat Cell. That's one major loss right there, having no Gohan transform to a Super Saiyan 2 or even Super Saiyan. And Vegeta would not even transform to a Super Vegeta because he would have no idea what the Hyperbolic time chamber is. Goku would not tell him. The reason why Goku told him was because their life was at stake. The androids were to destroy the whole world. Now one big con right here is that Goku would have been alive. And having Goku alive, he would have been there and everything would have been the same pretty much. He would have trained Gohan throughout the year gap to make him at least transform into a Super Saiyan, and he would have done a lot of training himself, but I don't think he would enter the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. One thing that this will affect is no one would know who Cell is, because before Cell could go absorb anyone, Gohan would have easily dealt with him, and therefore they will have no knowledge about Cell. And then what would affect his Buu Saga is that nothing would have changed. The Satan City would not be called Satan no more. It will be called whatever it's called. And knowing Gohan, he would have been more smart, and he would still eventually go to Orange Star High School. He would have met with Dell, and then Goku would have continued training, and they would have had Goten. So Goku would have trained Goten, but the only difference here is that they won't be as strong as they were. So that's what I believe would happen if Gohan did achieve Super Saiyan 2 inside Hyperbolic Time Chamber. If he trained, his Zenkai boost would have been a lot more higher, and he would easily destroy the androids. He would have brought peace to his world once and for all. And maybe Gohan would have been smart enough. Unlike Trunks, I believe Gohan would have probably, if he was on the Earth, if he came to the present timeline, he would have used the Dragonballs to ask to wish back everyone. Unless if the dragon can't do that, then Gohan just has to remain living in Earth, rebuilding it, and be the next guardian of the Earth. That's all for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you think would have happened if Gohan went to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber and trained? What would have changed Dragon Ball Z if he did that? I already mentioned stuff that would change. You tell me what you think would have changed, and let me know in the comments below. Would you prefer Gohan to go in Time Chamber and train and become Super Saiyan 2, or do you prefer for it to be the way how it ended, where Gohan dies and it's Trunks who goes to the present timeline? That's all today, guys. If there's anything you like about what we just discussed about the discussion, please drop me a like. That'll be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm GokuT23. Have an insane day, people.